This is Lauren Fogelman at ExpertSportsPerformance.com, working with highly driven, motivated athletes on having more focus, confidence, the ability to effectively deal with distractions when competing for consistent high performance. Today's topic is 5 reasons why athletes break with tradition. Let's face it, most people avoid confrontation. It's uncomfortable for them. They might not be used to asking for what they need or want. It's easier to go with the flow and do what everybody else is doing, even though it might not be the best way forward. But Amna El-Hadid, she's a Muslim competitive weightlifter in the United Arab Emirates, and she is going against the grain. In the United Arab Emirates, they don't really look well upon weightlifting to begin with, let alone female weightlifters. There's a lot of judgment about what she's doing, and that there's a pull for her to really walk away from it, even though it makes her feel so fulfilled. So you really got to give her credit for sticking with her guns, what she feels is right for her, as opposed to allowing other people push their beliefs onto her and then going ahead and pushing her needs aside in order to avoid that confrontation, criticism, and being different than everybody else's. So what I want to do is really look at the 5 reasons why you might go against the grain and break with tradition. Let's go ahead and start with the first one. Conviction. Now, Amna really believes in what she's doing because she got into it because she was a little bit overweight. She had a couple extra kilos she wanted to lose. Weightlifting seemed like a great way for her to do it. And as a result of doing the weightlifting, she found so many other benefits because of that. Her confidence grew and so many other things. So what is it about you that you're fully convinced works for you? You ought to be doing it. And no matter what happens, you're going to really stay strong, sticking to your guns on that one because it means so much to you. And think about that. What's that conviction that you have, that belief that you're really standing strong on? After conviction, courage. As I said before, it takes a lot of courage, a brave person, to be willing to stand up for what they believe to be right and go against the grain. We've seen it over and over again, examples in sports as well as many other places where there's one person who stands up for what they believe to be right, even though tradition doesn't really have that similar point of view, and they stand strong and follow their convictions, and it's really a matter of integrity. And that's what's going on for Amna also, is that she has the courage to really stand for what she believes, that there's nothing wrong with being a female weightlifter. And she wants to prove that to her country as well as culturally. So courage is really something to think about. And where do you have courage to really stick to your guns and stand for what you believe is right, as opposed to caving into pressure? After courage, compelled. What is it that you're compelled to do? You're driven to do it. And not only that, like Amna, you want to take full responsibility for your actions. You just own it. There's something about that that really is a game changer when you just own something and you have that no excuses approach. You take that full responsibility and you stand up for your beliefs. The bottom line is it's really empowering. Your confidence grows. You find out things about yourself you didn't even know were there. Can you think about a time when you were compelled to really do something? You were driven no matter what the pressures outside were, and you just went with it, and it worked for you, and the benefits that came out of it, the obvious ones, as well as the unexpected ones. And how would that be for you, taking a stand on something else that's maybe on the back burner that you know you ought to be doing? So what is compelling for you? After compelled, she channels her energy into her sport. She loves her sport. Even though people aren't in agreement with her, there's controversy, criticism, whatever it might be, she's putting her heart into being the absolute best weightlifter she can possibly be. She wants to put all of her energy into it, and as a result, she's actually becoming a role model for other women in her country and within her culture of what's possible when you do what's right, and showing them that sometimes what's right isn't necessarily what culture says it is right for you. So there's something about it. She's creating this grassroots approach because she's really putting her energy into what she believes is right for herself. And how have you maybe made changes in how other people see things because you put all of your energy into it and you stood behind what you believe to be right, and it changed other people's minds too. They followed suit. All of a sudden you became a leader without really expecting to ever be in a leadership position. After channeling the energy, consistent. She perseveres day in and day out. No matter what is going on, she is so focused on her vision. And let's face it, when you have a really big vision, the way forward shows up. That's what I've seen for myself, as well as the hundreds and thousands of athletes that I've either coached or have talked to. So think about for yourself. If you have this big vision, I know that the way forward is there, but what happens is most of us think with our head and we don't connect with our hearts and what we're compelled to do. As a result of that, you end up playing small instead of playing a really, really big game. What I do is I partner with my clients on showing them how to really take the right actions, be inspired, and step into their highest potential, their fullest potential of what they know is possible. Because when you're really coming from the heart and you're passionate about what you do, those excuses melt away, and as a result, there's a higher self that comes through. It's a game changer. So what I want you to really look at for yourself are, where have you had conviction and really stood strong no matter what the pressure was? How did that change things for you? Because I see that as being just a matter of integrity. Having your values, your actions, and what you say is important to you all line up. The flow comes from that. You learn things about yourself. You grow as an individual. Your performance improves. So I'm going to challenge you now. Think about that time when you stood up for something that you really firmly believed in. It was so important to you. You were so connected to it. And there was no choice but to do the right thing. How did that experience change you? What did you learn about yourself as a result of going through that? And where are you now? Is there something that you're compelled to do and you know you ought to be doing it even though everybody else is telling you to do something different? I want you to find it within your heart, to follow it, and do whatever it is that feels right for you to be able to step into your higher self. Go ahead and write a post. Let me know what takeaways you took from this training session. I look forward to hearing from you. I'll answer as many posts as possible. My goal is to show athletes how to be able to stay cool in the heat of the moment. Lauren Fogelman, ExpertSportsPerformance.com. Talk to you soon.